All right, Ohio State 28, Texas 14. Man, heck of a game. This is what the sport's all about. And you could say this was a tale of two plays between the Travion Henderson slip screen for the touchdown, between the controversial second and goal call. We'll get into it. That's the beauty of college football, though, again. And I'm going to start this by saying if you want to hear somebody criticize the play calling of Steve Sarkisian and break it down to a T, go listen to 90% of college football shows out there. I think there is a bit of added humility that needs to exist in sports media from a lot of these people who will break this decision by Sark down that have not played a single down of football or coached or watched a single coaching clinic. I'm not a Division I coach. Do I have my opinions on the play? Yes. Do I believe I'm credible enough to state them publicly? I'm going to refrain from that. But in terms of the game itself, I can say this. The more complete team won this game. What do I mean by that? Well, in high-stakes games like this, when you play talented teams like this that have the resources to take away as much as possible, it's about who has more bullets in the gun. And Ohio State had more bullets in the gun. What do I mean? It's like playing the Patriots in the playoffs. They're going to do what they can to take away your best weapon. Indianapolis wasn't able to get past the hump because Marvin Harrison was greatly neutralized in a lot of ways. In comes Dallas Clark in 2006. It's the same thing for Ohio State. What do I mean by this? Well, Texas's strength is their secondary. Jeremiah Smith, 1 catch for 3 yards. Their best target, neutralized. So what's the story? Next man up. Carnell Tate was Ohio State's Dallas Clark yesterday. 7 catches, 87 yards. That right there is what great teams do. On the other end, Ohio State's strength, they have a ton of them, as we've learned. Probably their defensive line. Texas did not have a response in the run game. They tried Wisner. They tried Blue. 29 carries for 58 yards, 2.0 yards per carry. All you math nerds out there as a team. 4 sacks for Ohio State, 9 tackles for loss. And I'm going to say this. I don't bring up preseason injuries, especially this late in the season, often. But Texas losing C.J. Baxter in the preseason, for those of you that don't know, this 5-star running back, really highly touted, hyped up to have a great year, tears his ACL right before the season. It was felt for Texas. What do I mean by that? Well, in the 12 games that Texas won in regulation this year, we're going to take out the ASU game, they averaged 5.0 yards per carry. In the 4 games for which they did not, 1.5 yards per carry. Texas, when they averaged over 3 yards per carry as a team, did not lose a single game this year. That's all it was needed. Look, and a lot of people would say, they've had Bijan, they've had Roschon Johnson, and so on, next man up. It ain't that easy sometimes. It ain't that easy. And on Ohio State's end, I've reiterated this, but man, this just showed how complete of a team, truly, that they were. Again, their best target being neutralized. 9 penalties on the day for the Buckeyes. 3.4 yards per carry as a team. Hats off to this Texas D-line, man. They played one heck of a game themselves. But you know what? Didn't matter. Great teams find a way. That's exactly what happened. Now, Texas. I want to talk about Quinn Ewers here. Because Quinn Ewers has gotten a lot of hate. He's been subject lately to nothing but Arch Manning discussions. And I'm here to switch the pendulum. Because before Quinn Ewers got to Texas, Texas fans, let me take you back. In the 12 years before Quinn Ewers got to Texas, 2010 to 2021, Texas was 83-67. They won 54% of their games, so putting up 6-6, 7-5 seasons on average. They had just one 10-win season. They had 0 conference championships. All of a sudden, Quinn Ewers arrives. What happens? 33-10, 77% win percentage. He beat Nick Saban on the road, which, by the way, that hadn't happened since 2015. He got there and did that. Wins the Big 12. Texas didn't do that for the 12 years before Quinn Ewers got there in the 2010s. 2 playoff appearances. Look, man, a lot of Texas fans may look back at Quinn Ewers and say, dang, maybe we should have lived in the moment a little more with him. Because he was subject to a lot of Arch Manning discussions and a lot of hate and a lot of what he could be. But in reality, this is the reality. Quinn Ewers is the reason Texas survived Arizona State. He's a big reason Texas nearly beat Ohio State. He's a massive reason why Texas was there in the first place. Quinn Ewers is a guy who should be respected and known in Texas football history. He should be known as the guy that woke Texas football back up from its decade-long slumber. That's what he should be known as. Because, I mean, it's likely, based on comments that have been said, that he's going to the NFL. And Texas fans should be able to look back at Quinn Ewers with an appreciation to say, you know what? You brought us back here. And for that, Quinn Ewers should be commended. Great win for Ohio State. You know, if you're Texas, I also want to say this. I don't want to get too caught up in what's happening for them next year because this event is still incredibly fresh. But your time is coming. You just signed the number 1 overall class in 2025. You've got a lot of dudes coming back next year. A lot like dudes like Colin Simmons, who's a freshman. You got a lot of sophomores in the secondary. You're going to lose some in your offensive line. You're going to get Baxter back healthy. Arch Manning is probably going to be the guy based on what Quinn Ewers has said. Texas, your time is coming. And Ohio State, man, yeah, the loss to Michigan is hard, but this is not a bad alternative. Enjoy this because this is one heck of a win for them.